Good evening, I'm Ken Bastida. Dana is off tonight. He was murdered and then set on fire while celebrating his birthday.
I got a fist full of whiskey, the bottle just bit me. We got him lined up, shot down, firing back straight crown. Took it like a time bomb, drinking till the night's gone. Get your hands off of this glass, last call my ass.
Sunday? Nope, I did not get motivated enough to go get a Bloody Mary mix, so it is non-bloody Sunday. Non-bloody Sunday. Bigger is better, though. Voodoo Ranger Hardcharged Peach Tea, weighing in at 7%. So if you wanted to tune into something amusing, the girls' party was amusing. Christine wasn't overly happy. She's kind of wondering how many people thought maybe it never happened because somehow her show ended up, Miss Bomey's Zone ended up on my Locked and Loaded channel. Well, which means it won't be on iHeart, and she got a lot of naughty and fucks in without it affecting her channel. So there is an upside to that. It smells like natural peach. I tell you, when you get your nose right in there, and it smells like sweet peach, you know you're gonna enjoy it. Cheers. Okay, so it is peach tea, so we definitely have the tea. Almost how do you describe it? If you go to a restaurant and they say, do you have iced tea? And they say, is it sweet tea? And they say, no. And you say, oh, okay, well, I could maybe change that with sugar. And you can't because it's that really bold tea. It's a really bold natural tea and then a natural peach added to it. So, advertising that it's peach flavored tea is exactly right on, versus you're not getting like a peach beverage that may or may not be tea. Let's not talk about that anymore. Just move on to those mountains. First in is J-Dog saying first. And then Sharky says, GJ Dog. Cold-hearted bastard, 2 thumbs up and 4 shots. Rich Huff says, cheers all. Cheers, Richie Poo. J-Dog is here at work. 21 hours ago. Cold-hearted bastard on his other channel is 2 thumbs up and 4 shots. Poco looks about right. Cold-hearted bastard, damn you old guys are getting fast. 2 smiley faces, 2 shots, 2 thumbs up, a pineapple, a pizza, a squirrel, and I don't know what that last thing is. A dog or something. Bad says, Captain, my captain. Maybe defunct, but we will always have Paris. Bad, that's a good series by Voodoo Ranger. Yes it is. As we break into their iced tea line. I have the just plain tea. I don't know how many things are in that set either. Smile Money, not first, then again not an ass about it. Multi-Gunman says last. Cobra says first. Smile Money says one and only. Cobra says the OG. Mr. 27 says lies. And Smile Money says back to him, you can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Salty, step 1, get naked. Step 2, repeat step 1. Multi-Gunman, what's step 3? Mr. 27 says double check nakedness. So, after, what is it now? What is it, Ninja? Been over a year? I guess one of the last moments in time, he is, I'm getting shipping, well, I don't know about information, shipping, which I could have just sent it out to him anyway, I guess. But the Justin rifle will, at least part of it, will finally be leaving. So, if I take all the parts off the lower, and then put the lower in a chipper shredder, and then jettison all into a Ziploc baggie, and then send you the Ziploc baggie, have we still crossed state lines? Asking for a friend. 69, I see what you did right there. Din, take a sip of some kind of liquid. Well, this is a brewery review, so believe it or not, it kind of happens throughout the show. I could take a sip of that. Poco, that's probably the nicest knife they have sent you. Dang, that's nice. I'm trying to think. You know, Poco, I won't argue with you at all because I am a gigantic fan of the real steel blades. And as a matter of fact, I spent a considerable amount of time over at Real Steel and realized that they have some very, very sexy flippers. Now, in the scheme of things, yeah, they have some knives that are $400. They're also titanium and some kind of a Damascus steel. I don't know. I'm not a metallurgist, okay? But I tell you, there's one that, if it was under different circumstances, i.e., I didn't know about my financial future, they have one that looks a lot like this, but it's a special and it's a pre-order. It's a Year of the Dragon, so the handle is all red and it has the Chinese dragon on it, and it was like $55, which I thought was pretty cool. Like I said, this series of knives are $71. This one, I don't know if it's because of the titanium colored blue parts, or maybe it's just the glow in the dark end of the thumb stud. But whatever reason, this one is a Battle Box exclusive, and so if you want, you can find one similar, but not exactly this look. But no, I'm a big fan, and they still make the fixed blade. My favorite one, it's a part of their Bushcraft series. Love that blade. Love the sheath. Love the fact that it uses the seatbelt material, so it rides lower than a normal one would, so that if you're wearing it, it's not always jabbing you in the ribs. I don't know. This is, again, everybody's got different things, that preferences that they like and they don't like, but this is, like I said, if I watched a Battle Box video and knowing what I already know about
about real steel, I would I'd go over and get one. As a matter of fact, I'm still considering, even though it's kind of just useless, that the one that's got the orange blade on it, but they under flippers, they have like I don't remember what the knife count was, but over 10 pages of knives. And some of their fixed blade stuff. Some of their fixed blade stuff is nice, don't get me wrong, but I still think the one that I have is my favorite of all of the ones that they offer. So, and I signed up for their newsletter, and they sent me an affiliate link. I don't know if that's something they just automatically send to everybody, because my email address is my email address. It's not like the eBomi channel on YouTube at gmail.com. That wasn't what I sent them. I sent them my normal one, the one that I would check the most. So I don't know. I suppose maybe I could add that to some videos. I mean, I wish I was one of these people that could just afford to go pick a knife from Real Steel once a month and then do a video on it. But either way, yeah, I thought that was interesting. It's like, hey, thanks for signing up for the Real Steel newsletter, and here you can be part of the affiliate program. I mean, like, what difference does it make? You can already get 15% off on your subscription to BattleBox using the code eBomi, and I would be shocked if anybody has done that. I mean, the girls' video for her girls' night, the video that John put up, had more views in 6 hours than a BattleBox video from a month ago. So,
Poco in for the knife. Poco, take my sister. Cold-hearted bastard. If that tiny pump is what I think it is, I could use that. I'm pretty sure it's not what you think it is. Smart money. Love dialing sight-ins. Yep, I always go the wrong way the first time, but then it is easy. Laugh out loud. I think I sent you a link to a Vortex video saying co-witnessing has only to be able to see your irons through the red dot glass should the dot stop working. It is just so confusing. Well, I guess it might depend on also your sight height. On say some of the guns, like for instance the XDM, that won't co-witness at all. The sights are lower, and on a suppressor height sight, the co-witness is, I guess if you're sitting there and you had to turn it down and down and down and down and down, and you just about used up all of your dot, I guess that'd be one thing. But what I like about it is when you're aiming through the sights, the dot is hovering over the end. But if you just go like this and don't bother using the iron sights, just use the dot. I mean, if you were to put it in a vise and you were to put that, just the red dot on the center of whatever you're aiming at. Let's just say I had a vise set up in the window and I had it aimed at a sticker on the side of my truck or something like that, and the dot is in the middle, but your irons are down here. If you see, which way would you have to do that? If you duck down so that the dot now sank and lined up with the optics, that is giving you the same impact point. It's just your perspective of where you're looking for through it.
And I actually watched a whole series. I think the guy had 6 different red dots, and he was showing what you see as you move them all around, and the vortex and the holosun and the ACOG all had the highest ratings of all of the ones that he had looked at. And what really surprised me is, it doesn't surprise me, the ACOG better be on that list because of how much they cost. You know, you can spend $500 for a little ACOG red dot, and in comparison to a $200 Vortex Viper or something like that, it was just as impressed for its parallax. But yeah, sighting something in, I think by design, it's kind of like plugging in an outlet. You've got the bigger bar on your plug, and you've got the smaller prong on your plug, and no matter what, I would say something like 99% of the time, if I grab an extension cord or whatever I'm plugging in and I go to plug it in, it's always wrong. It's a 50-50 in the real world, but not in mine. And that's the same with setting up frickin' optics. It's like I miles to just go, okay, I'm about to turn it this way, so let's turn it this way. But then
Poco, I like my 458 for CQB. I'm already deaf, so it's all good. Although anything over 100 yards is like lobbing a football.
yeah, I mean, 100 yards and in though, you pretty much are gonna make a great big mess out of it.
Bad? Looks like a cool knife. That it is. Bad? Man, that is a fat blade. I dig the belly on the blade.
Yeah, see, it's a 50-50. I've noticed some people, it doesn't seem like it's a gray area. Love it or hate it is what I've noticed with that blade.
Cold-hearted bastard says E4. E4 is a hit. Mike says cheers. Cheers, Mike. Dan. Smile, Mang. They're not attempting to recruit Ukraine. They own Ukraine. See them having Ukraine legislator vote to overturn an election to have more U.S. friendly guys win. That if they actually like them during the next election. How come he only got like 5% of the vote? The second candidate had like 7 times the votes he had, yet everybody loved him. The election right before, I'm pretty sure Biden has better numbers than he did when. That's why Joe Blow has the U.S. VP can force them to fire the guy looking into Burisma, holding they are a puppet state. The whole thing is NATO is an aggressor trying to undermine MAD. Same thing with Georgia right before this. The NATO, there is no neutral, only adversary. Smiley said, well, didn't Ukraine have a policy not to join NATO? They had a corrupt government that the corrupt politicians exploited. Biden got the guy fired because he owed them? I thought it was because he used $1 billion of our tax dollars as leverage. Ukraine in 2010 elected a president that wanted to stay closer to Russia. In 2014, Ukraine had a revolution, and that president fled to Russia. Mike, nice compass, tiny pump, real knife and tool. Thanks, Mike. Cobra, what 10 millimeter pistol do you recommend to someone that does not have one and can only have one, not 30 of them? Smile Money says, pick redhead, blonde, gray, black, or brunette. You picked redhead and your wife is a brunette. Someone is sleeping on the couch. What 10 millimeter pistol would I recommend to someone that can only have one?
Well, I'd have to ask, I'd have to do a Dr. Mark on you. Let me ask you this, Cobra. Are you looking to own a 10 millimeter because you don't, and it would just be fun to have one, and things like weight, capacity, features, trigger, none of this is a factor? You just want me to point you in the direction of a good starter 10 millimeter? Or that you can only have one, so price doesn't matter. So if I was to say, if you have to have one, this is the one that I recommend that you get. Well, then, Cobra, I'd have to ask you, are you looking for a pistol or are you looking for a revolver? See, there'd be a whole bunch of follow-up questions if you were standing here right now. If cost wasn't an issue, I really like the IFG. If you're looking for maybe the best bang for the buck, that would, boy, see, there's like a whole bunch that have just hit the market that are 10 millimeter. The new Taurus. Now I'm drawing a blank on the other one that. Yeah. So I mean, you might be able to get a really nice double stack polymer 10 millimeter from Taurus, the TH10, for in the $400 range. Oh, Palmetto, the PSA, or yeah, not the rock, but the thing. They had at SHOT Show, they had a 10 millimeter, and when that hits the market, I bet you that is going to be even less than the Taurus, under $400. And if that's the case, I bet you they sell a shit ton of them, because that will financially massively underscore even Glock in a 10 millimeter. Like I've always said, though, if you can find an older generation Smith & Wesson, you will not be disappointed. The 1006, for instance, full size, can't go wrong. So something like this, not going to be the cheapest way to go, depending on where the market falls on these right now. But probably hands down, as far as a series and a company goes, Smith & Wesson on these older generation 10 millimeters, all stainless steel. They're bulletproof. I mean, bang for the buck. I also do like the Rock Island lineup. You know, you're looking for a single stack, you're looking for a double stack. I mean, I've always thought this was a very sexy looking gun. And the A1911 A1 FS TAC 2011. I don't know. I always thought, for the most part, a lot of times they referred to as the 2011s as the double stacked versus the single stacked. What do I got going there? It almost looks like one of these grip screws is. One of these grip screws is backing out. I guess a good thing you asked, Cobra. We could have lost a grip screw. I just don't know if these are Allens or what they are. So another thing that's nice about the Rock. Rock Island is a lifetime warranty. Well, both of them on this side were. One was loose, and one is extremely loose. I blame Sharky. Also, the Smith & Wesson, the new Smith & Wesson M&P 10 millimeters. A lot of gun for the money. Just don't buy it from that piece of shit Crag at Hammer Down Firearms, because you could go through Jolson and save $200 over what my friend discount was when I purchased Christine's. Hell, I paid significantly less for my Performance Center than I did on my friends and family discount from Craig at double your money, whatever his company is. So, Cobra, it's a complicated question here. So, to say that you would only have one, does that mean you know, what's your budget? You know, would you like something older? Would you like something newer? Would you like polymer? Would you like a revolver? Would you... Mr. Multi-Gun Man, I'm not sure what's going on down there, but somebody should probably call the police. Mr. 27 says no. Cobra, fours, front, opposite, rear, the same. Basically, move the rear sight the direction you want to hit. Front sight, you do the opposite direction. Now I'll never remember fours. Move the rear sight the direction you want to hit. So if you're shooting high and you want to bring it down, you would bring the rear sight to, I'll just turn it the wrong way and then self-correct. Thanks, Cobra. Smile Money says, so if you want to move your shot up on the target, you would move your rear sight higher. I got it, because by moving your rear sight higher to realign your aim with the front sight, you would have to bring the rear of your gun down, because your eye and the rear sight and the front sight and the target must align. This is going to make Eric's head explode. See, Cobra. Now you're talking to a guy that has more than 20 10mm pistols, and I am very interested in getting my hands on the Taurus and the dagger. On the other hand, under a small list of regrets was the getting rid of the sea carry. Tanfoglia does have a nice lineup in pistols in general, not just 10mm, but yeah, I guess I was just miffed with the way they treat their customers, or soon to be no customer. Wade, curves make you work harder and enjoy it more. Wade, I like the blade design of the Real Steel knife. The first knife is a good beater. The pivot lock they both have is one of my favorites. I love to fidget with them. Heck yeah, I like that on both of those knives, the button lock or the crossbar, because you can just sit and do. Just don't put your finger in the way of the blade when you do this. I did that on one knife once, and I found out how quickly I can bleed out. Cobra says C5. C5 is a hit. McLean, Captain, my captain. What are you doing with, Mike? Did I say McLean? Sorry. I didn't mean to, I didn't mean to be cruel, Mike. Mike says, Captain, my captain, what are you doing here with IPA? I love them, but I know they're not your favorite. I love Voodoo Ranger. You know, Mike, I have actually talked about this a couple of times in the last few weeks. It seems like it's like IPAs and I burn out. And then I switch over to Imperial Stouts. And I've been purchasing more IPAs lately than I have Imperial Stouts. It's kind of like, okay, I'm ready to go. But it always seems like it's one of the two of those. Everything else is just kind of like a middle of the road beer. Like, okay, it was good, but if you really want something good, it's either going to be a really outstanding IPA or it's going to be an outstanding Imperial Stout. Like, for instance, Curvature. That was... But no, I do like the Voodoo Ranger series. Mike, again, is it better than the Fad I sent you? I haven't tried this one. Probably not. I would say that this particular of the Voodoos is, God, it's probably my least favorite, but maybe possesses some of more of a, I don't know, it's a weird one. It has the end, that dry bitter finish at the end is more true to a good IPA, but it starts off very fruity. Pineapple, orange, mango kind of a thing, but not sweet. So, no, I would say it's not the best of the Rangers, and I believe it's been a while. But I believe that one that you sent me, I liked more. I would take that over the Voodoo. Cheapo Gun Guy, the secret of life is
Honesty and fair dealing. If you can fake it, you've got it made. Personal favorite. Jolson I-10 is a miss. Jolson, we need more cowbell. Who's we? And why do they need more cowbell? You'll have to get in touch with my rep. McLean, I would like it if the boys would be easier on Eric. He's fragile, remember? Mr. 27 says 48th. Then he says intro brew bomi. Nice. And then he says intro babe. Nice. McLean, the Spyderco is the best knife in your house.
Au contraire. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. The Spyderco is definitely a very nice knife. Which is why for the longest time I never wanted to carry it. Because I'd rather die knowing that I never got to enjoy it.
McLean, I'm starting to want a pistol caliber carbine.
I used to have a 9mm. I do not anymore. Because gave it to Christine for Christmas. Alicia. If I did though, McLean, I would definitely want a 10mm. I know this should come as a surprise to you.
You know, I gotta watch this. Between McLean and Mike Moore, your things basically almost look identical. McLean, I vote for Pam Cam. McLean, grown-ups don't wear tidy whities. Mike Moore, I thought you said your least favorite 10mm was the Tanfoglia because of their customer service.
Yes, but I don't own that gun anymore, so I was basing it on what I have in the collection. But having said that, I wish I still had it and hated their customer service as opposed to I did a David J. fucking Brown. I got mad at their customer service and got rid of the gun. At the time, I wasn't having a problem with the gun. I just felt, and from all the research that I did, that the gun was not made to handle a real 10mm round. It was really not new in the 10mm world, but new in the kind of the rebirth. They were one of the few companies there. I mean, Glock and them might have been maybe the only one really producing a new 10mm pistol. And it just felt like the thing was just getting hammered to death when I shot stuff that Mikey loaded for me. And no, you know, the runaround, the fucking idiots that answered the fucking phone at Tanfoglia USA, just complete and utter fucking retards that don't want to listen. I just am looking for help if there's a spring kit or what they would recommend for it to handle a full-on 10mm load. We don't endorse plus P in that gun. Didn't ask you about plus P. Maybe you could open your fucking brain and listen to what I just said. A full 10 millimeter round, loaded to the Norma specs, to what it's supposed to be. Not this neutered shit that was available at the time. I mean, and it was quite obvious. I'd go get Federal Hydroshock and fire a mag of those out of that gun, and then shoot the stuff that Mikey loaded for me, and this wasn't the giggle. I can't wait to see the look on Eric's face when I try to blow up his pistol. He wasn't even loading to full spec. He always used to go like a grain or two less. So no, they wouldn't even. I'm just like that. I got nowhere with them. I was experimenting. I probably still have the spring kit. I purchased a calibration spring kit for a 40 cal, and tried to go from there. It just felt like it was just getting hammered. So, but it was also a gift from Christine. So it was a stupid move.
Matt Davis. So when you and Matt go ice fishing, that could make a good review. Well, it's going to be interesting to see if that happens or not, because more and more warnings are coming out about going anywhere with Matt. I mean, going onto ice, because it's been so nice. Sharky, cheers all. Love the intro, babe. Nothing on deck. Shame on you. Sharky, great pics from the girls' party Chris posted.
Yeah, it was a good time.
And Sharky with the last comment.
1 hour and 42 minutes ago.
22 minutes. Lovely side under boob. Have to make it a two-parter though. Knife looks good, and somehow that crazy folding locking knife grew on me. Which one? So that means you're probably going to have to watch to the part where I actually threw the single shot 12 gauge up there. Okay, so where do I put this? Well, it is exactly what it says it is. It is a nice bold tea flavor with a natural peach with it. It's 7%, so you have to like that. And it's a big can, because I like big cans as long as they're nice cans. So I suppose in the scheme of all the things that I've had, I would say I'd give this a 7.5 on the non-regular E scale. Oh, forgot to mention my sister got me. It says for the person who has everything, a belly button lint brush. That was sweet of her. Oh, I don't know if it's ready yet, but she also got me this. No, they're not ready. I'll have to show you. I'll have to show you tomorrow. One of those
ice cube trays that makes looks like little 1911s, or actually pretty big 1911s, or 1911-ish. The only thing I don't like about it is it's a silicone tray. So, but the only scenario that really works is to put it into the freezer and then fill it while it's sitting in the freezer. Or find something that it'll fit on, so then you can carry it over and put it in your freezer. So, but yeah, maybe we could have some mixed drinks with some pistols in it tomorrow.
Okay, first in, Rich Huff. Cheers, Clevers. Cheers, Rich. Then J-Dog says, Heart Club, Mr. Holster. And Smile Money says, cheers, Clevers. And Salty says, cheers, double nakedness. And Mr. Mark Mack says, the real steel orange one is super nice, Eric, for $71. Yes, Mr. Mark Mack, but I spent $44 to order 3 different Bloody Mary mixes for the channel last night, and due to my self-inflicted, I quit. I can't justify spending any money on, say, something like a nice knife right now, because the last thing I need is, or the last thing I have to have is another nice knife. But yeah, that orange one was badass, almost as badass as this orange one right here. It'd be awesome if she got into porn. Oh yeah, that's right, she did. And Mr. Mark Mack with the last comment says only 6 left in stock. Mr. Mark Mack, you're not helping right now. Personal favorite, by the way. 2 in a row.
Mr. Mark Mack, you should pick yourself up one. That way you can continue to tell me how awesome they are. If you were over at their site, then you've seen the other knives that they have. They have just a whole bunch of, and Wade, I have to say, I do feel the way you feel. I love this style lock and unlock mechanism. Like you said, if you could just sit and goof around with it. It also, as far as being useful, keeping it in your pocket, I think it's funny how, if you have a out the ender knife, that should be illegal. And it's like something like this. Crap, any knife. The knife that I got from Gunwild. Because of those. I can't do it with my jammies, or can I? No, it's too soft. But as you pull this out of your pocket, and your pants flip that, all just as fast, if not faster, than an out the ender.
But no, I have a few favorites here that I don't like to put away because I want to be able to have them and use them and enjoy them. But on the other hand, something like some of these, I definitely don't want to take to work, because depending on the situation, I've done some, the one I got from Tardisius, the Cyclone, I have done some really terrible things to this knife, and yet it's still, I've always struggled with putting a blade on this thing. I can't remember what kind of steel it is, but it's definitely not D2. It's one of those ones that, itchy. It's one of those ones that takes like forever to get it sharp,
But once you got it sharp, it stays sharp through a lot of abuse. Actually, I know I've said this before and I keep forgetting. I am going to put this in my pocket and I am going to put this back into my work rotation. So, okay, let me double check one more time, and then we will see. That's it. We will see you guys tomorrow. So, cheers. Stay safe.